Hey VC, Jeff, back again. I'll just do a short one. Cold, stormy night here. We've got a buttload of snow here in the Washington D.C. area, which was probably good timing because it seems like there was going to be a bit of a march on Washington, another insurrection type deal going on this weekend. Otherwise, bunch of nut jobs walking around town um, with paramilitary stuff. Ah, man, the freaking US is all messed up. Anyway, I've got a little bit of a stack right now, so I thought I'd just go through it with you before it gets any bigger. I want to get this filed away, and I kind of enjoy my new headphones. Traded my old Sennheisers with Sean, so I've got a bunch of albums and some interesting books on the way. Yeah, so, well, here, a lot of this stuff's been shown in the BC, but not all of it. Uh, this one finally picked it up. Uh, Joe McPhee, Nation Time. So kind of spiritual jazz, I guess you or protest jazz in that vein. A little free jazzy at times. Some live recordings by Joe McPhee back in the early '70s. I want to say '71 on this guy. Um, no one particularly famous other than Joe on here. He's not that particularly famous, but excellent album. It was originally like a private press kind of deal, so this is pretty much the only way you're going to find this at a reasonable price. So this was what was the label? Nothing fancy on the packaging, but it does have a little explanation of whatever about the album and plus what's ever on the back. But yeah, Superior Viaduct, yeah. They did a pretty good job on that. It's pretty good sounding mastering and whatnot, considering the source. So it was some live footage, not footage, but yeah, live recording, whatever. But yeah, highly recommend that one. I don't know, pretty close to a 5, but yeah, 4.5-ish, bordering on a 5. Uh, so yeah, it's kind of, I think on the hype or whatever sticker on the back or inside or something. Yeah, they're saying like what is it, James Brown meets Pharaoh Sanders or something like that. So yeah, it kind of gives you a rough idea what it sounds like. If you haven't listened to that, well worth it if you're into more of that spiritual jazz stuff. Crossed with little James Brown. This was a really good one. Blackouts. This is a comp. History in reverse. I want to say it's because they got everything reversed as far as the order of the albums. I'm not 100%. This was kind of early '80s alternative. This is where what's his name? Paul Barker from Ministry fame, plus Revolted Cox. And was it 10,000? 10,000 Homo DJs, one of the greatest band names ever. Um, anyway, yeah, this is where he got his start. So I guess his brother was one of the founding members of the band. They pulled him in on bass kind of late in the game, I believe, going from the liner notes. So this was on K-Rex. Excellent comp. Pretty damn good album. Probably the only Blackouts I'll ever need, but since it's the comp, so it pretty much has got the highlights on there. But yeah, it's just so the kind of early '80s alternative synth pop. Who? Yeah, I think kind of like New Order at their height or something like that. I don't know. I listened to that last night, but honestly, I can't make a good comparison. But yeah, it's think synth pop and the kind of the New Order vein. Pretty good. Shown this before, just thought I'd show it again. So it's worth picking up if you haven't already, if you like their other stuff. So Flower Traveling Band, Anywhere. Um, yeah, so limited edition. they just do like different colors. This is the orange one. Um, so Phoenix is a pseudo bootleg. I doubt the band's getting any money, but it says it's licensed or whatever. Yeah, whatever. Phoenix is pretty much it's one of my favorite labels, but it's pretty much all bootleg Japanese underground stuff. Uh, but yeah, so kind of psych, um, freak out, whatever, tinged little drone or whatever. I don't know. So it's a Japanese underground. I've been reading the Japanese underground book by Copeland, so he always raves about this. So I gave it another listen. It's a great one. Mostly covers. This one, I don't know about all of them, but this one did come with the, I guess, the track listings aren't on here, but there is a CD in here. It's got all the track listings. So you got their version of Louisiana Blues by Muddy Waters, which is a really long one. It's like 14 minutes or something. They do a version of Black Sabbath, but it's more of like a doom metal thing. But this is, I think this is like early 70s, like 70s and one, I want to say. House of the Rising Sun. Yeah, there's all this like really kind of doomy stuff. And then this was the album they did right before Satori. This was their first one as Flower Traveling Band. Yeah, previous to this, they did The Flowers, which I also like, but that one's not that special. It's basically a lot of covers of stuff like was it Big Brother Holding Company? It's good, but not great. Yeah, this one I picked up a while back. I don't know, I just haven't been in the mood for it, but it's an excellent album. Yeah, Big Star, first one, #1 album. Notably, this is one I think their best songs are on it. I think their second album's their best album. I should pick that up at some point, but yeah, highly recommend this one. It's the one that's got 13 on it, so that's my favorite Big Star song. So if for me, if I was going to own one album, it would be this one for them. But very close, very close in quality as the second album. Third album's never grabbed me as much, but a lot of people like that the best. Whatever. Enough said. Just get shown a lot in the VC. So Big Star, #1 record. So Alexhilton, arguably at his height, but I kind of like his solo stuff actually. This one I picked up a long time ago. Neo Nistico, Sal Nistico. Pretty good one. Hard bop, I guess you'd call it. Yeah, but it's a really good hard bop album. So Randy, if you're watching, you'd actually really like this one. These will go for like a ton of money. I think I paid maybe less than $10. It's probably like $6 or $7 range, I guess, in Japan. So I've got a really clean copy, but it is on a fairly obscure label. It's a Beehive. Yeah. So I got a Beehive on the label. But yeah, really, really good album. Yeah, it's over a 4-star for me anyway. Is it essential? I don't know, but if you ever see it, it's definitely worth picking up if you're into like hard bop. And speaking of, arguably his best, but I kind of like his spiritual stuff the best. Coltrane, Giant Steps. I think Mazzy's shown this exact pressing, but yeah, really, this is like I think early '80s Japanese repress. So sounds really good. So yeah, if you're looking for a good copy of this album, I bought this in Tokyo, but I know I didn't spend a fortune on it. It's under 20, I'd say. Um, yeah, but this is definitely one of the better pressings if you can find it. So Coltrane, as enough said. Yeah, so that was one of those seminal jazz albums you gotta have, basically. I'm not gonna go into that. But I will say that's a really good pressing. And it's got the really cool two-tone Atlantic label. I want to say it's like a cyan and an orange or something. Yeah, this one, yeah, again, gets shown a lot, but it's a really good pressing. Melvin's Houdini with the Kozik. It's worth the admission just for the price of admission just for the Kozik stuff. But this was redone a couple of years ago by what's his name? Jack White's label, whatever. Not a big Jack White fan, but he does put out some good stuff sometimes. I used to have this on CD. This was the first like major concert I ever saw actually. So I saw him on this tour with Primus. Primus of course was the headliner because they were huge back then. But yeah, the Melvins. I never got that much into Primus. I was there for the Melvins. Yeah, wow. These guys were loud. Not the loudest band I've ever seen, but they were up there. Yeah, really cool artwork. Even though it's a gatefold, it's a single album, not color or anything. But yeah, one of their best albums. I like their kind of earlier stuff. But I would rank this up there. I had to own this one just because, you know, sentimental reasons, and I just love Kozik's artwork. Frank Kozik. I got a couple of his other artwork, 7 inches, whatever. I cannot get this back in there. Oh, good. Okay. So Melvins and another gatefold here. This is another really one from my childhood. I used to have this on cassette. Honestly, I got started ditching my cassettes a couple years ago. I regretfully, so a few slipped through the cracks there. But yeah, this was worth rebuying. I think this version's got a couple extra tracks that the tape did not. But Gang of Four, I might go back and get their first album. The first album definitely is by far their best. They got a little more disco-y in the later albums, which, you know, some of their best songs are on there, but it's really hit and miss. So this comp, it has most of the good songs off of their first album, so I may or may not go back for it. And definitely do not see these guys anytime soon. Oh, they are horrible these days, man. About 4 or 5 years ago, I had a chance to see them in Tokyo. Actually, I got the flyer on the wall here. Yeah, these guys are terrible. Yeah, here we go. Yeah, I can wear my jammies. Yeah, sorry, not fashionable tonight. Yeah, so yeah, Shimo Kitazawa near Fifi's bar of Teen Generates. I think that like pretty much across the street from where his bar is. Great bar, but yeah, I introduced some people to there, and that place is hopping. I'll never go anymore. Yeah. And who opened? You got a rating? Yeah, they were okay. Probably better than Gang of Four. But yeah, horrible. I think the original guitar is still in one left, I want to say. But if he's still around, with all the stuff going on there in the world. But yeah, freaking horrible, man. Yeah, the bands is, you know, other than him, the bands are all like in their early 20s. It's just it's shite. But yeah, it's a pretty good comp. Starts. I kind of remember that from the tape too. I think the second side it was really petering off, but yeah, I love, you know, when that's Entertainment. That's their first one. That's such a good album. I do need to get that. Their other albums go for a lot cheaper because I think they are a little more glammy. But yeah, the tape I remember it had a fold out thing, but I don't know if it went into as much detail. I want to say this does have a few more tracks because it's a double album. Yeah. I can't remember. Yeah, I think the original of this came out in like 90. But it's a double LP. Yeah, clear vinyl. It's was it Rhino? It's a pretty good. It's a really good pressing actually. So yeah, enough said on that. So it's post punk. They get a little disco-y in their second, third, and whatever albums. They released a few at this point, but honestly, you either get this one or get That's Entertainment. That's Entertainment on almost all their really good stuff. But yeah, I like A Man in Uniform is pretty good. Or I think it's their Factory is pretty good. Maybe Cheeseburger, To Hell with Poverty. Okay, yeah, they do have some other stuff that's pretty good later on. But yeah, their later albums get really disco-y. Yep, and then just one sheet CD. I picked this up around Christmas actually, but it just arrived last week. So I found I was gonna get the repress, but the repress was Four Men with Beards, so I was like, I just bought the CD. So I got this for under $10 on eBay, and signed by Chris Bailey, the original guitarist. So that was kind of cool. I think I paid like $8 or $9 shipped. That was pretty cool. But yeah, this is basically their first album. I'm Stranded. Stranded. I think it's called. Yeah. Oh, okay. Both parentheses on the I'm. Okay. So Stranded or I'm Stranded, whatever. It's arguably their best song. So Australian. Yeah, I guess they're punk. Australian punk. Yeah, pretty good album. Say pretty solid 4. Yeah. This one too. I think I like it a lot for sentimental reasons. They do rock really hard at times, but yeah, post punk. Also, this was pretty much a 4. Maybe I should have gotten it this center. I don't know. Because I had this, it's the one I got. So, but if you're gonna get one, yeah, it's kind of a coin toss between that and that's entertainment. But they cost the comp costs a little bit more because it's a double. But because it has most of the good stuff of that's entertainment, maybe that's the only good. I don't. It's up to you. Or get the CD. But yeah, this one, again, it's like a 4. It's the first track really rocks. I think that's the first. Yeah, I'm sure it is the first one. And then, yeah, the CD's got a couple bonus tracks on it. This is from 9. Yeah, this is like a 10-year-old comp. I don't know. There's different versions, but this one does have a couple bonus tracks. It's pretty good mastering for what it is. This is, it's punk. Yeah, they're pretty essential Australian punk, really. Yeah, the album itself is slightly uneven. It gets a little repetitive and drony at times. But yeah, I'd get this one or maybe either this or a comp. In retrospect, maybe I should have gotten the comp, but yeah, the price was right and it was signed, so I got that. Anyway, I'm going to sign out here. And hope everyone has a great week. For those of you here in the snow, yeah, just hang in there. I don't know if I'm getting to the store. Another day or two off. I don't know if I'm getting to the store this week. Yeah. And yep, Sean. Yeah, I may or may not get your box off for this week. We'll see. We'll see if the roads look like we're supposed to get more snow tomorrow and more snow Tuesday. So. Sorry, dude. I'll do my best to get out there. Yep, take care, everyone, and stay safe, stay warm.